Hey guys, this is Eric Morley for the 2022 Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. I'd like to introduce to you this year's Grand Marshal, Sean Lee from the Purist Group. Sean, congratulations and thanks for being a part of our great ride. For all those that don't know Sean is an amazing person. Not only is he very much into the motorcycle and the auto world, but he also has a huge heart of giving back. So just to give you kind of an overview of the Purist Group is, I met Sean several years ago and I've seen his work and I've actually followed it online and really became great friends with Sean. But Sean, give us an overview of the Purist Group.
So Purist Group has been around for about 10 years. This year's also our 10th year anniversary. So it's such an honor to be actually becoming a Grand Marshal for the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. And throughout the past 10 years, we host different charity events. And the main purpose of those charity events is to help the youth in our community. So we started about 10 years ago. Our very first event was actually a toy drive, because a lot of underprivileged families and in the community they don't have a toy for their kids to have proper Christmas. And we started a toy drive among about 30 of our friends, collect some toys. We send it out to those families. And 10 years now, we host a toy drive that hosts about 10,000 people, and we give about 30 to 35,000 toys every year. And as Purist Group gained a lot of traction through the years, I started one of my favorite events right now is the back to school backpack events about 7 years ago. That event started with actually one of the teachers in a local high school contacted me asking for 3 backpacks. I go, why did you ask me for 3 backpacks? She goes, I have 3 kids that's actually getting bullied in a school because they're carrying a very worn out backpack, and it's all duct taped, and I go, okay. So and me and a couple of friends of mine, we bought 3 backpacks, loaded up with back to school merchandise in there, and also we sent over some toys along with the backpack. But right before we sent it over, I asked the teacher, just in your class is 3 kids. So that means your whole school must have more kids than just the 3. So would you mind ask around all the other teachers on how many students are actually have this kind of situations? So the number they came up was 30. So we then purchased additional backpack, load them up with the back to school stuff in there, and then we sent over 30 backpacks for our first round of a back to school charity events. Of course, a lot of toys. And that moment, I see the kids, they're high school kids, right? But they started crying because they never feel like everybody cares about them, and some of their family are pretty don't have high incomes, and that's why they can't even afford the backpacks. And many of them were bullied in the school because of that. And I can closely relate to that because when I was a kid, I was I ran away from home, and I came from an abused childhood from my family, and I was pretty much homeless on the street for a while, and I know how they feel. And so that have automatically become one of my favorite events. So throughout the past 7 years, we had the back to school backpack. We went from 30 backpacks to today we're doing about 5,000 backpacks.
Which I gotta tell you is my first event for the Purist Group is Sean goes, hey, I'm gonna get some friends together and we're gonna do a backpack drive. You wanna come up and hang out with us? And I'm expecting, okay, well, you know what, maybe a couple hundred backpacks. He had the whole line of cars. There had to have been over 1,000 cars of people in this automotive and motorcycle community wanting to deliver backpacks and give backpacks to the Purist Group. So just seeing that whole power of the community is amazing. I think the other question I have is, so the Purist Group is really a great group. Tell me about them. Who are they?
Wow. The spectrum of the members within is quite wide. We have from the basic car enthusiast that likes little Honda Civics, and all the way to people that owns crazy hypercars like the McLaren Speedtails or Paganis. The focus of this group is never about a car. It's always about focus on giving back to the community, doing the charity the right way. And everybody in there that currently as a member of a Purist, they have done this group and with holds for reputation 1,000 times more than that. Every time we needed donations on certain things, they send over by the truckloads. There's just so many extraordinary members in there. makes me proud of it to be. I never consider myself a founder of the group. I consider myself a part of the group. You know, and I'm just the guy who started it. Yeah, but you know, it makes me so proud to have all this teammate, okay, comrades that focus on making a change in the community here, and that's what Purist is all about.
So I'm going to move the conversation a bit over from the Purist Group to your love for the motorcycle. What was your first motorcycle?
So my first motorcycle was a Honda. Okay, and it was a Honda CBR 600.
Wow, you just like step right up. It's like
1987. It's called a Hurricane, single year only. Yeah, and it's funny how at the time I buy motorcycle to commute better, save gas, and I bought it used, and I think it's 1990-ish. And those bikes were kind of cheap at the time, but it's also I still remember that bike a lot, and I started riding it fast. Back in the day, there's no helmet law. I started riding it faster and faster. I'm surprised I'm sitting here talking to you today.
Really?
Yeah, but later on, of course, I started racing Willow Springs. But by then, I was racing a Yamaha FCR 600.
Gotcha. So you're definitely moving along quite a bit, huh?
Yeah.
Gotcha. What is your favorite thing about a motorcycle?
Well, motorcycle is like giving the man a wing, right?
Yeah.
You get to dance with the wind that blowing in your face.
Right.
You know, and I love cars, but cars don't have the feeling. You feel like you're trapped in a cage.
Yeah.
You don't have as much freedom.
Freedom. Thank you.
Yeah. When you're riding a bike and you smell the air that's around you, when the wind hits your chest, and you get to feel the sensations that's around you. That's what makes it different to ride a bike in a car.
Gotcha.
You know, both can get up to speed really quickly, but the sensation of you having that atmosphere and the air around you, and you feel like you're part of the earth, you're part of the wind, and it's completely different in the car.
I love it. Well, you know, I think the big thing, wrapping it on up, is the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride is definitely about giving it back, paying it forward, support prostate cancer research and men's mental health, as well as having a great community of enthusiasts. And that's why I am so inspired to having Sean Lee as this year's Grand Marshal. Sean, hey, thanks a lot for coming out with us.
Thank you.
I can't wait to ride with you, okay?
Me too.
All right.